Hi everybody. I thought it was time for a good old-fashioned thin the tip post, which I have not done in months. So I have the luxury of today being our first wellness day, which means I have nothing scheduled. So what am I going to do to help my mental health? I'm going to make reads because that makes me happy. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, I'll take you through this read today and what I do to it. Here's where we start. And that's really not bad. I mean, I literally just pulled that out of the water from last night. So it's flat. It's got the little bit of the bitonal thing going on. It's rattly, a little resistant. But there's a reed in there. So stay tuned.
So the first thing I'm going to do to this reed is now really worry about the V and clean that up. You can kind of see from this angle how uneven it is, especially right about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these back and kind of make that V come down a little bit. I did a better job on this side, but still you can see there's like extra cane there. Once I get that out of there, that's going to help clean up that sort of what I call the bitonal crow, where it starts at one pitch and then drops to another. And it should make it cleaner and clearer, and it should make those the high and the low crow balance quite nicely. So here I am just a few minutes later, and you can see I've done some of it. I probably could do a little bit more here, but it's a noticeably better. I should have done this angle before I started messing with it, so you could see. See, I still have to clean up this side. It's like a little too straight. But check out this crow. Just with that little bit I did. So you can still hear there's a tiny little bit of that desire for it to want to drop, but it's a lot tighter, and that's because I'm starting to figure out what's going on with that V. So now when I look at it this way and I can see that it still looks a little bit straighter than what I normally do, especially on this blade, I'm going to bring this V back and see if that completely solves that sort of bitonal problem. Okay, so I've done a little bit more, and you can see a little bit better from this angle, that especially on this blade, especially if I tilt it down a little bit, you can tell that I've brought this area down, especially on that blade. I can still do, I'm getting it on this side, but I probably could do a little bit more there. But when we look at it from here, all of a sudden, we're seeing a lot more, except on this side. But, so I still have some imbalances to kind of fix. But listen to this. No matter how hard I blow, that whole desire for it to kind of want to drop pitch is now gone. And I have to believe that is because I'm getting my V more in the right position, and it's helping kind of channel the vibrations down the reed. Pretty cool. All right, I'm going to play on it and see what happens. All right, so here we are. I'm going to play on it and see what we've got. So it's tippy, because the tip is super long now because I've done that V stuff. And there's a little hint of that wanting to drop pitch, which I think is because I don't have my angles right. So I'm going to fix that next. I'm going to do more of that and see if I can completely get rid of that. Here it is a few minutes later, and I have done my darndest to try to correct it. I decided to go for it. Like, what the heck? Let's see what we learn from doing this. And so I have improved that V on the one blade. This side, of course, was the good one. This is looking a little bit better. You can still see it's just a tiny bit off, but it's getting there. I did clip it a tiny bit and remove some overlap. And now here's where we are. We are spot on with the sea crow. Woohoo! But the problem is this. I don't have the quality of the tip crow I want. I like the pitch, but it's still a little resistant. It's not clear enough for me. I want to clean that up and get that clearer. So that's what I'm going to do next. Here it is just a few minutes later, and all I've done is work more on the entire tip, the size of the tip, trying to kind of get that asymmetry a little bit better, thin it out. It's tiny bit better. The side is not making me happy, but this makes me happy. It's just like bam, and easy and clear. If I blow harder, that low crow stays nice and stable. There's a really nice reed in here, but I want to get now a little bit stronger low crow. And so now I'll work a little bit in the heart and a little bit in the back, and I'll try to get that balance. But now I'm satisfied with what the tip is doing, so I move to the next area. So this is totally worth sharing. So I told you I'm looking for more lows, and I feel pretty good about where my heart is. And I was like, there's still too much back here. And I really felt like if I took some more out of the heart, out of the back, that would probably help those lows drop in, because normally that is what happens. But what I did when I scraped out more in my back this time, that did not work. And I've got this crow now. So the low crow is in there, but if I blow harder, it starts to disappear. So fortunately for me, because again, the rule of thumb in the wintertime is to not do anything to go too far. I know now, don't go back here. Let's go back and revisit the heart and see if I can do something in the middle of the reed to release those lows. Oh, we have such good news to share. Yes. This is the... Y'all are laughing at me right now. I know you are. You know that feeling when you're like, this reed is so close. So here's what I did to dial it in. And this is now at the leave it alone before you screw it up stage. Let it sit. Take it out tomorrow maybe and do some more finishing work. But to get the bottom and the depth that I wanted... And again, remember, I am a little bit of a flat C crower. I prefer that. So this is probably about 10 or 15, maybe 10, 15 low. But what I've done to get the lows, because remember, this didn't do it when I went into the back. So instead, I figured out that one blade in the heart was a little bit thicker. So I went along the sides of the heart, cleaned that up, and that just sort of made the whole reed go, oh, thank you. And I'm all of a sudden getting all the lows that I wanted. So I did that. And then I did just a teeny tiny little bit behind the catch. And this reed is now good to go. It seems weird to me that it has a super long tip, but it also has a real nice spine in the tip. So when I take the after pick for you, I'll backlight it so that you can see it. And the profile is looking relatively good. Nice and tight. So this little guy, we're happy. This little guy's going, well, I might actually warm up on him a little bit and see how he settles in. But hope that was somewhat interesting for you. Have a great day, everybody.